9, the factors that cause a shift in the supply curve, and here we have the relationship between price and quantity, and as the price goes up we would assume that suppliers will supply more products, and that will create a positive relationship between the two. But also what are the determinants of the supply curve? What will cause the supply curve to shift? The first one are the cost of production, and if the cost of production go down, then we would expect the supply curve to move outwards. Second one, the changes in technology, very similar. As we become more technologically astute, we would expect the same process to occur. Joint supply, so this is like beef and hides. So as we supply more beef, therefore there will be more hides. So this relationship here is, we maybe start off at PQ on here, right? Then the demand curve for beef will go up, so therefore the price goes up. That's a signaling function for people to produce, for farmers to produce more beef, so that will move up to here. And then in the consequence of that, because the price has gone higher profits, then the supply of beef will increase. Now what that will mean for the hides market is, as the supply for the leather goes up, okay, then the price of leather will fall. Okay. Competitive supply, this is when, if we grow potatoes and then we can't grow carrots. So if the price of potatoes goes up, then farmers will plant more potatoes, and then that will lead to a fall in the supply of carrots. Indirect taxes, that will raise the supply curve. So indirect taxes here, that is a supply curve. We would expect it to move upwards. Okay, and if that happens, then the price of that good is going to rise up, so there'll be less quantity supplied. And finally, subsidies on there. If we subsidise a good, then we would expect, the supply curve to increase. Okay, so these are the factors that can cause a shift in the supply curve of the supply of goods and services. Right, what determines how steep the supply curve is? If the supply curve is like this, what that is saying is, if the price of that good goes up, you cannot supply any more of that good. Now that supply curve may well hold for agricultural products. So agricultural products is, you can only supply a certain amount per year, and even if the price goes up, you can't supply any more in the short term. Obviously in the longer term time, you will be able to supply more goods, because next year you will plant more potatoes or whatever. If there is spare capacity within the economy, then there'll be no reason to plant more potatoes or whatever. If you have got spare capacity, you can increase the output quite easily. And is it easy to switch from making one product to another product will also determine the supply curve. Now this supply curve here is 0, this one here is infinity, and when it goes through the axis here, when it goes to the corner, we say that the elasticity, the price elasticity of supply is equal to 1. This is the equation. Percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price, and the price elasticity of supply is always likely to be positive, because as the price goes up, it's likely therefore that we will supply more goods. If it's an inelastic supply, then the supply curve is between 0 and 1. It's going to be steep. So for example, we draw one quickly on here. That's a pretty steep supply curve on here. So here the price has doubled. Okay, it's gone up by 100%. So the price may have gone up by 100%, but the quantity supplied has only gone up by 25%. 25%. So if we calculate that, it's a positive relationship, because they both in fact gone up, but it comes out as 0.25. So the price of supply there is 0.25. So therefore it's an inelastic supply curve. An elastic supply curve, if the value is greater than 1, and therefore if price goes up, say by 20%, then the quantity supplied will go up by a larger amount than that. And that is the price elasticity of supply.